In the summer of 1858, London began to rot. The River Thames, once the heart of the city, turned into a bubbling cauldron of sewage. The heat was unbearable, but the smell was worse. It was so foul that Parliament fled their chambers, and even Queen Victoria couldn't stand it. This was the Great Stink, the disaster so disgusting that it forced London to invent modern sanitation, and, in the process, save itself. By the 1850s, London's population had exploded past 2.5 million, but its sewage system, still medieval. For centuries, waste from homes flowed into cesspits, or straight into the Thames. Then came the new fashion, flushing toilets. Every flush sent human waste directly into the same old drains, and straight into the river that supplied drinking water. Writers like Charles Dickens called the Thames a deadly sewer, and they weren't exaggerating. Each sip of water carried disease, and every summer brought the risk of cholera. Then came July 1858. Temperatures soared past 34 degrees Celsius, over 93 Fahrenheit. Weeks of drought left the river low and sluggish. Mountains of sewage baked on the banks, releasing an evil odor so powerful it blanketed the city. Newspapers stopped being polite. One headline read simply, "It stinks." People covered their windows with lime, fled the city, or walked the streets holding scented handkerchiefs to their faces. And still, the smell grew worse. At the time, most people believed disease came from miasma, bad air. So when the Great Stink rolled in, Londoners weren't just disgusted, they were terrified. Doctors warned the smell could kill. Even Queen Victoria's short boat ride on the Thames ended after just minutes. She retreated, handkerchief pressed to her face. In truth, cholera came from bacteria in the water, something Dr. John Snow had already proven 4 years earlier. But nobody wanted to listen until the smell reached Parliament itself. By June, the stench invaded the Houses of Parliament. Lawmakers tried soaking curtains in chemicals to block the odour. It didn't help. Some members fled meetings clutching handkerchiefs. There was even talk of relocating Parliament just to escape the smell.
Finally, one man had enough: Benjamin Disraeli. He stood before the House of Commons and described the Thames as a Stygian pool of horrors. Then he did what no one else had dared. He demanded action.
Within weeks, an emergency bill passed through Parliament in record time, just 18 days. The government approved an enormous $3 million project to rebuild London's entire sewer network, and the man chosen to lead it was a visionary engineer named Joseph Bazalgette. His plan was simple, but revolutionary: capture all the waste before it reached the Thames and send it far downstream. The new sewers would run beneath the city, guiding waste eastward to be released safely at sea. It was a massive leap forward for urban engineering, and it had to be done by hand. Bazalgette's team dug over 3 million cubic yards of earth and laid more than 300 million bricks. They built 100 miles of smaller drains and 82 miles of giant intercepting sewers. Gravity did most of the work, but where the city dipped low, enormous steam pumps lifted the flow. The pumping stations themselves were works of art like Crossness, nicknamed the Cathedral of the Marshes, and Bazalgette, ever the perfectionist, doubled the pipe size, since we're only going to do this once. By the 1860s, the change was undeniable. The Thames began to clear, the city smelled normal again, and perhaps most important, cholera vanished. The deadly outbreaks that once killed thousands never returned. London had cleaned itself, literally, and set the standard for modern sanitation around the world. The Great Stink began as one of history's grossest disasters, but ended as one of its greatest breakthroughs. Out of filth came innovation, out of panic came progress, and every time you flush a toilet today, you can thank the summer when London's bad smell led to a very good idea.